I want to introduce Michael Petryni. His course is Contemporary Short Films, which starts on April 20th. We are really pleased that Michael was not totally discouraged that we canceled his class abruptly the day before it was due to start at the very beginning of the pandemic in 2020. It will be held just before the Cascadia Women's International Film Festival in Bellingham, which will be held in May this year, and the season will be in person. The course will be a unique perspective from Michael as a script writer as you view video clips, and we are very glad to have him. Welcome, Michael.
Well, thank you. And hello, everyone. I'm looking forward to doing this because when I've talked to people at Western, when I talk to classes, I have to always remind myself that the movies I'm going to talk about were done before those children were born. So I've often thought I would go in there and ask them all if they know who John Wayne is. But I've never done it because I'm afraid they won't, which would probably stop me from talking for the rest of the class. Anyway, with this class, I'm doing this because my wife is the executive director of the Cascadia International Film Festival, and she sort of roped me into it. Other than that, I'm qualified to do it because for 17 years, I was a scriptwriter in Los Angeles. Before that, I was a film critic for a major metropolitan newspaper. And so I have a lot of knowledge of both television and the movies and how they work. I have a son who's trying to make a movie in New Orleans right now. The class itself, as I envision it, will be like one of those things where you see a really good movie and then you go out for coffee or drinks afterwards and you discuss what you've just seen. And we're going to show 4 short films, maybe 5 if we have time. And then we'll just free form discuss them. And I'll add whatever knowledgeable statements I can make to that. And we'll cover a lot of stuff from the craft of screenwriting, the craft of directing, to are these films unique because they're directed by women, as well as being universal because they're really good movies? Or whatever any of you think the movie needs or doesn't need. There's 2 movies I want to highlight. One is called Short Drop, which is my favorite film from the entire festival, which was the first year. This festival is in its 6th year now. It's still my favorite film. And it's about a guy in Trinidad, Tobago who's lost his wife and his only joy is to drive his car every morning. And one day he stops by accident in a traffic jam across from a taxi stop. And this lovely young woman jumps in the back seat and says, "Take me to my boyfriend, taxi man." And he tries to tell her, no, he's not a taxi guy, but she insists. And so at that point, they go on a journey that becomes just tremendously an exploration of humanity in that country. The second one I want to highlight in this talk is one called Unspoken Code. And it's about a kind of boorish concert pianist who buys himself a robot, who's, of course, this beautiful young woman. And you can kind of see where that would go if a guy was directing it. But it's a woman director, so it's going to go someplace you probably won't even think about. And that's what makes that movie really, really fun. So that's basically what I'm offering here. And I hope that you'll sign up and we can have a really good discussion.